So there was a study done on the differences between how little boys play games and how little girls play games, right? And the way little boys play games it's more structured, right? They established hierarchy, so there was always like a leader. um they played more competitive games, challenging games, right? There was always a winner, right? And it's pretty much how men operate in the world, right? Men are hierarchical, they're structured. There has to be a head. This is why they're always asking about who's going to lead women, right? Because men know women don't operate from that space, right? So when little girls play, it tends to be more of a community, right? We play house. We make believe. And not that little boys don't make believe, it's just done differently, right? We have more empathy, right? We want everybody to be the same. It's a community. We're all doing the same thing. Even if it's little different roles in the game, we're all pretty much the same. There's no hierarchy, right? Even the mother in the situation, she's not really bossy, right? She's just there to provide love, right? And when the girls have a problem with the game, they give up. And that's how women live life, right? If everything isn't the same, if everything's not comfortable and, appealing to a woman's needs and wants, women just give up. And I spoke about this earlier about a comment that was left under one of my Instagram videos where a woman was, describing life basically and how it's not fair. And I said, this is life. Nobody's there to provide you comfort or fairness, right? And so this is how women go through life. And this is why women are not prepared for how the world is. Because the world is not community. It's not the same. You have to create that stuff. Community, right? Bonds and all these things. And even with that, there has to be some kind of structure. There has to be some kind of hierarchy. Everybody cannot be the same doing the same things. Right? That's going to cause chaos. So this is in response to a comment that was left under one of my TikTok videos where I was talking about, being feminine and not allowing people to bully you out of your femininity, which men and women do. And I appreciated this comment. I'm going to read it. I'm not going to, because I want to upload this video to my YouTube. So the comment says, "Thank you, Miss Lilith, for all of your wisdom. You are so beautiful and neat. And what proves it is that you post photos or videos of yourself every day. And for me, it's amazing because there are times when I don't want to show myself because I feel ugly." Now, mind you, this is a young woman with a short pixie cut. And it's all face. She's beautiful. And I'm not saying this, and y'all know I don't be giving out compliments and doing all that. This girl is beautiful, right? When you could pull off a pixie cut and you got face, that's all you need. It eats, right? The comment goes on to say, "And I ask myself, how is that possible? Don't you have problems with hormones, acne, PMS, etc.? How can you be so beautiful and active every day of your life as a woman?" And this is a fair question. And you know what stuck out about this person, this young woman, is I believe this is French she's speaking in, because her page is not in English. So I believe this is French. What's interesting about that is I get this type of response from women overseas. I get responses like this from women in the States too, but it's more so overseas. Why? Because I believe that women overseas see oppression more blatant than women here. Women here are not as oppressed as they like to believe that they are. Right? So women overseas, I have a huge following from Africa, a huge following, right? And other parts of the globe. Because women from other parts of the globe are having different experiences than women in the States. And so that sticks out to me a lot. Most women belong in the house under the covering of a man. And I stand on that 10 toes down. Why? Because most women cannot deal with the realities of the world. They can't. They've never been taught, and they don't have the emotional wherewithal to do it. They belong in environments that cater to how women need to feel, to be treated, right? So most women will not master themselves. You will learn things from me. You will have a lot of takeaways from me, but most women are not going to be that woman that gets to that place of not needing what most women need, and or gotten to the place of realizing that that's not how life is, and you got to deal with it as it comes. I was having a conversation with someone today about this very thing, which was so wild that I get this comment, and we were talking about how women deal with life and what happens to women when they become accomplished, right? When they get their jobs and their degrees, and why women like that tend to be off-putting. So women don't take life seriously. Life is just sort of happening for us. We're just existing, right? Because things are pretty much handed to us, we don't know what it's like to be a man in the world, which is a totally different experience than women. This is why it's hard for women to raise their sons, because women cannot prepare their sons for how men get along in this world. A lot of men or boys who are raised by their mothers are going to have a very hard time in the world, because men are going to chew them up and spit them out. Men don't treat us the way they treat each other. And so women don't really understand what's required to be in the world, because men don't treat us in the ways that the world treats them. We're not totally like being protected from everything, but it's not how it could be, how it is for men. So when women accomplish things in life, right, become, supervisors on their jobs, and, become so accomplished and make all this money and such, that's what they take seriously. They don't take life seriously. This is why women can be so accomplished and have a shit reality. It's not balanced, right? Because women don't see the importance in life, which sounds wild, right? But this is why women play with their lives. So it's not really serious to them, but what they work for is. And so they put all their fire and fuel into that, which makes them imbalanced and off-putting. So for men learn early on that life is for the taking. And if you don't take it, you're going to get taken, right? So men take life as a whole more seriously because their lives are at stake. So I wrote a post on Facebook, and I said, when a man says he's going to protect a woman, he means with his life. He can lose his life. Men can die from protecting a woman. This is why men, that protection shit is so valuable to them, because it's their life. But women we don't think that way. It's not that serious to us. It's like, because we don't face that type of threat on our lives. We have faced the threat on our lives with our spouses, but not in the world. Men are there's always a small threat of violence amongst men, not with women, not physical violence, not to death, right? And so they'll protect you. So for me, no man is going to protect me with their life. I don't have that type of relationship with no man, right? And so in the reverse, for women, we risk our lives so that men can live on by way of having their children. So our lives it's different. And so men take life seriously. So when it comes to other things, relationships, the workplace, and these things, it's serious, but it's not as heavy as women are. And men are expected to be leaders in these things, so they don't have to put so much oomph and emphasis in the things that they do outside of the home. Women do, because we're not respected, right? And I spoke of this the other day. So I can be in the workplace and never become a supervisor. I don't have to work my way to the top. Why? Because I'm a beautiful woman. And no matter what I do, I'm going to be able to get access to the best man in the place. I will just always have that. That's the luxury beautiful women have. That's not all women. But to women, because men pursue all women, all kinds of women, they think we're all the same. The woman who's not as attractive is not going to have the same advantages as I am. It's just the way that it is. But in reverse, the man has to work his way to the top or he's going to look like a flunky. He won't be able to get the best woman in the space. He have to take whatever's left over. Or whatever space in the world, right? The more power and influence a man has, the better woman he gets access to. The more beauty a woman has, the better man she gets access to. So we don't take... It's almost natural for us because no matter what, we will always get access to men. No matter what. And men are a means of survival for a lot of women. This is why they pour so much into men. Even men they're not in relationships with, they'll bring food for them, they'll take care of them, because women take on those roles because men essentially are the way women survive. And you see that in women who have connections to men, even if it's not an intimate connection, if it's anything, if they know the man personally or whatever, that is their means of survival in whatever space that they share. Whether it be a boss and a subordinate or whatever. If it's a woman, she's going to let everybody know in some form or fashion that she's connected to that man. Because women, they typically cannot stand on their own. This is why men take boss babes and independent women for a joke. Because for the most part, even with all of that, you still can't stand on your own in the world. This is why it's important for me to cement myself in actually being autonomous in all areas. So I don't use being attached to a man as a way to get ahead. Because what if that man is removed? What do I do then? This is why women go from man to man to man, because men are their means of survival. Women will eventually fall if the man removes himself or if the man is removed. Right? So the way we face the world is so different. And because I understand this, things that plague women or causes women to be sad or having a bad day, it doesn't affect me. I don't let it, right? PMS. I've been getting my period since I'm 11. I'm 40, I'll be 46 this year. I mean, life has to go on. I don't get to lay up in a bed and wait for a man to bring me some bread. I don't have it. I don't have that. So whether I'm having my period or not, right? I still got to move on with life, right? Whether I'm having acne or not, I still got to move on with my life, which I had adult acne, right? I had acne when I was in my 20s. So I have clear skin, I have good skin. I know that's hard for people to believe when they see you online, but I have nice skin, right? So again, a lot of the things when women have attitudes and they have their period and all these things, I don't use that as an excuse because I'm above that. And I've worked to get into a space where it really doesn't affect me. I know when I'm going to get my period. I know what I need to do. I don't have bad cramps or these things, right? But if I'm feeling crampy, then nobody gives a fuck. Like, that's the bottom line, right? Women don't understand nobody gives a fuck about you. Men may not make you feel that way, but the average man doesn't care about you. They make you feel that way because they want access to your warmth, to your happiness. That fuels men, but they don't care about you. Someone left a comment on my video, a man is saying, you are valued, you are, a queen, and all this bullshit that men say to women because they know that that's what women need to hear. And I'm like, oh, please, you don't give a fuck about me. Now, I don't feel slighted by it because I understand that life is more serious than what women think it is, right? And so how she asks, how am I active and beautiful every day? Because I gotta live, baby. Life is serious for me. And regardless of what's going on in my life, I still gotta bust moves. I still gotta do things so that I can create comfort for myself. There is no man to create comfort for me. And even if a man gives me comfort every so often, that's not how I'm gonna live. Because what if that person is removed from my life? What happens then? I go look for another person to provide comfort for me? But most women are going to live like that. This is why I seem so harsh and mean and masculine and hateful to women, because this is the real world. Women don't want to live in the real world, but women want the benefits of the real world, right? A couple of years ago on Facebook, a young woman said to me, she prays that I'm able to rest eventually, because she sees how I move and how I'm on top of my things, and and she hopes that I could just relax. This is what women strive for. But I'm relaxed. I'm relaxed in knowing that no matter what or who, I'm still going to go out there and get it. But again, this stuff is just in me. It's nature, right? I have my father's DNA running through me, right? I have Jamaican blood running through me. So this is just me, right? And the comfort is knowing that nobody can take from me. And if people give to me, it's an additive. It's not going to make me. But a lot of this is very difficult for women to receive, because women are not built to survive in this type of environment. But very few of us are. There are those of us that can do this, right? But there's a lot of truths and realities it can be hurtful, right? Like, not that this is hurtful, but for instance, men will treat me harsher than they do the average woman. More is expected from me than it is the average woman, because I'm competent, and men respect competence. Men don't believe that most women are competent in the ways that they are. I don't think they think we're stupid. I just think they think we don't have it in us to survive in their world, which is the truth. So when they come across somebody like me, it's like they're zeroed in on me and they're looking for my mistakes and they're harsher. I see this shit in real time. Other women get treated like they're fragile, like they're stupid, like they're incompetent. And men may not be as blatant with it, but I can tell by a woman could do the same thing. I can do the same thing a woman does, but I'll get a harsher reaction from it. Because men are not seeing me in the same light they see women. Even though I'm beautiful, even though I'm sexy, and all these things that men desire, it's this that's causing. And it's not that they're being mean or nasty, because again, men are still chivalrous to me. It's just like they require more from me. They see me in a different light, and they don't treat me the way they treat other women. And women will say, oh, me too. Most of you are not. You're not. So I'm telling you, you're not. So please don't leave me any comments to come out you getting treated. No. Inferior men may be mean to you and abusive, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about men respecting competence, and they see that I can handle things. And so they take off the kid gloves that they usually would wear with women. Most women want to know the answers to the question that this young woman asked me. And this is why there will be women who doubt everything I do. She's not really like that. Oh, it's this, it's that. Or she got a man doing this. They doubt everything because they don't know anybody like me, and they're not like me. This is exhausting up until a point. But this has always been in me, right? And people in my life that know me have doubted me. People that got to see me in a different space or got, more into my world sees that I'm really about this life. I remember having conversations with people telling them nobody ever gave me shit. Anything a man gave me is because I was in a relationship with them. They didn't believe that before, but now they see how I move. It's like, yo, she's really what she is. She's really what she says she is. But because of how I look, and I don't look beat down by life like a lot of women do because life is beating them down, it's hard for people to conceptualize that I am everything that I say that I am. It's hard for them to believe that what I'm teaching is actually in me, because it's not in most women. The world is not fair. A fare is what you pay to get on public transportation, and I don't ride public transportation. I understand there's no fucking fairness in the world. And so a lot of the things that women engage in, I don't. It's very childlike to me. The gossiping, the bickering, the bullying, right? The, competing for men, the trying to assert dominance and piss on your territory and be territorial. I don't play those games with women because it's not real in my world. Women have to do certain things for survival. Even women who appear to have it all together, right? The women who may be in authority positions or have businesses and these things, they have that, but they don't have everything that's needed to survive in the real world. We as women are still protected, but the higher you ascend, the more you are viewed as capable, and the more shit comes at you. And I don't view life as, I gotta get it because ain't nobody gonna give it to me, and I gotta grind it. Nah, this is just who I am. I can't teach this, me. I can teach you self-mastery. I can teach you how to think, right? I can teach you glamour magic. I can even teach you how to relate to men, which I stay away from that because that's really what women want, and that's not what I am, right? So for me to teach you how to live off of a man or how to relate to men, it's almost going against what I'm really about, because I would be giving you skills and tools, right? And I could use them if I wanted to. I can find a powerful man and just live off of him. I can do that, but that's not what I'm about. I require more in life. Right? And if your more is raising kids and be with a man, that's fine. You can still master yourself, right? But there's levels to this, and most women will never get to the level, right? And even some of your favorite celebrities are not at that level. They're just masters at their craft. They're not really self-mastered. It's not one and the same. I spoke about this in I believe the video about Glamour Magic, because I'm teaching a group session on September 20th and the 27th. Being accomplished in life and, in academia and work and all these things doesn't mean you're self-mastered. It just means you can do a thing. And women do well with following instructions. Women do well once they get into that, workplace and doing the things and making money. Women will do that. This is why men like to put women in supervisory positions. Not too high, but just like entry level or in HR, because women, we can do that. We can keep order and I'm in charge. And but it's not leadership. It's just putting a person there that can enforce the rules being told to them. Right, so it's a whole different dynamic than and what blows people is how I look, right? How is she this and look like that? Because to people, I should be taken care of by a man. This is why people will, especially men, will say, well, why aren't you married? You seem like a good woman. Why doesn't anybody want you? Not knowing if anybody wants me. Nobody knows anything. It's just not a part of my identity, right? Someone left a comment under one of my YouTube videos and said, at least she knows the difference between herself, someone like her, and a wife. And I said, yes. I'm not a wife. That's not my identity. I didn't have to marry a man to get an identity. A lot of women do. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But women take offense to that because they want everybody to feel to be the same so that they can feel secure in their decision making. Right? Or women will appear to be like more than just a wife and promote, certain messages, But essentially, they're just a part of a community of women. They're not really standing out. And I spoke about this, women who teach, women to, be autonomous, and women who are in relationships and teach that are still limited because they really can't be autonomous and speak out about male nature too much because it's going to offend their man. And women have left comments. I spoke about this, and women say, I speak about male nature. Yeah, whatever. I didn't even bother to respond because, I did. I think I asked, do they teach? They don't teach, but they claim they may speak about it. And what really that is probably them complaining about their man. But, women are always trying to be a part of something. They've never met anybody like me before. They're nothing like me, but they'll tell me they're doing the things I do. And the things that I talk about that I do, I know most women are not doing. I know this for a fact. But, again, there's that way that need to commune and need to be the same. Everybody wants to be the same, and we're not. That's how I know most women are not leaders. And not that men are natural leaders. Most people are not leaders. They just operate in the world differently that makes them appear as though they're leaders to women. Men know who the leaders are amongst each other. I can see it too. I can see when one man is dominating the many. Now, I can recognize these things, and it has nothing to do with bullying because that's women's domination, right? They bully the other women and they're the top dog, right? The group of women, and it's one that they all worship in that bullying bullshit. That's not what I'm talking about amongst men. So I know that all men are not inherently leaders. All men are not inherently smart. They just move differently in the world for their survival. We don't have to do that as women. So when we do it, it feels cold to women. That's why women will try to get close to me, and when they can't, they'll unravel and they'll start a smear campaign because that's what women do. They want to destroy your reputation and they want to control other people's perception about you. It's very childish, but this is how women are. Ultimately, I understand life. And I understand what I created for myself. And I understand that at this point in my life, it's always been shit to get off the pot for me. It's always been. Like, even when I ended my last relationship, I gave myself like 5 years to get to a place that I got to in 3. It's always been like that for me. And that's why my relationship ended, because I needed to do more. And it wasn't, I need to explore and have girls trips. Nah, I needed to get where I needed to be. I don't operate like I've never had a girls trip. I don't do girl groups. I don't do any of that shit. I don't operate like the average woman does. I don't need to have spa day to get back to myself. I don't need to do these things that women do because I'm proactive in my life. So I don't allow certain things to happen to me. I don't put myself in certain situations. I don't have a life. I don't live a life that I need to vacation from. I don't have to do a lot of things that women do to get to become one with myself. I'm always one with myself. I purposely didn't have more children. I purposely didn't get married again. I purposely did these things because of how I wanted to live. But this is not easy for a lot of women, and a lot of women are not going to accomplish this. And that's not my goal here. My goal is to teach women self-mastery because, again, I understand hierarchy and things need to be in certain place, and I understand structure. Everybody's not going to be where I am. That nor should they. Right? But women are not comfortable with that. Because even as much as they say, men should take care of me and all these things, and when I say that's where you belong, they get mad, they get offended because they feel like I'm talking down to them. They feel inferior, although that's where they want to be. And this is why men think women are confused. So people could call me masculine or say no man wants me, or I'm going to die alone, or I'm mean. I don't try to defend that because, okay, I created my life the way that I live. This is how I want to live. So you projecting how you view me based on what I chose does nothing for me. Does nothing to me. So it shouldn't offend you when I say, well, if that's what you want, that's where you belong. The world is hard. Go inside. Find a man. Go inside. Go have some kids. You should be cleaning and cooking. Be sexy for your man, right? Do all these things because that is where you belong. But women think they can have it all. You can't be me and be that. That is the total opposite of me. We're all not going to be the same. Somebody got to be inside raising the kids. You know, someone made a comment and said every time like a woman walk by with her man, she's kissing and hugging, you know, her man. You know how women do, right? The pretty woman walks by and the woman start getting handsy with a man. And I said, well, thank God somebody got to kiss men. Somebody got to sleep with men. And I'm not saying that I'm asexual or not, or don't want to deal with men, or don't want to, you know, enjoy the comfort of a man. I'm not saying that either. All right, so again, things like this is very complex for women because women just weren't created for certain things. And then there's the 1% of the population of us that were.